Major Hurricane Lee is expected to make a northern turn in the eastern shift. Now, Lee should make landfall in the northeastern US and Canada. Meanwhile, the US still continues to deal with a major heat wave once again back in Texas and New Mexico. Now let's get to the big player of all this, Major Hurricane Lee. Lee's expected to intensify as it slowly moves northwest. Why is that? Well, currently shear is low, moisture content is moderate, and the ocean temperatures are very hot. Lee is a huge heat engine sucking in lots of air at the surface and pushing out lots of air as outflow. Lee should experience these conditions for the next couple days while it slowly moves north-northwest around the outskirts of the high that's centered around Bermuda. Eventually, an eastern coastal dip in the jet stream should erode the high-pressure ridge, allowing for a gradual turn to the north. One of the few critical points of the track forecast is when and where Lee decides to turn north. A further east and a faster turn would likely result into a farther out to sea solution. A further west and slower turn could lead to larger impact on the northeastern US, which is kind of what we're starting to see here. Today's trends have taken Lee a little bit further west and a later turn in a slower overall track. The solution trend on a bunch of model ensemble members showed the effects of this well. The European model shows a more aggressive western turn, making landfall in Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Maine. The main difference between the Euro and the American model is the American has a more northern landfall point. So what's most likely the solution for the path? I don't know, but I would guess it would be somewhere in between the European and the American models, but probably closer to the American models given the most recent trends. Something important to know for those who may feel the impact of Hurricane Lee is that he will not be as strong as he once was. However, as he gets closest to New England and Canada, he will be much larger of a storm than what he was previously. The main issues I'm seeing with Lee right now is large swells and storm surge. It's going to be the main impact. As of right now, Lee will remain a Category 2 to Category 3 hurricane, and the reason for that is the ocean temperatures, as we just talked about a minute ago. Where he is now, the ocean temperatures are so much hotter. But as he starts to move north, he's going to move into an environment that's more heavily sheared. And because of Lee's size, as of right now, it's going to take him a minute to actually start to fall apart from the shear. Currently, as Lee turns to the north, it will be approaching this dip in the jet stream over the eastern US. Lee will encounter a decent amount of shear, though its large size will help protect it against the shear, and the jet stream could help evacuate air fast north of the system, counteracting with the shear. Overall, we're still getting a better idea for Lee's path and intensity, but there's still quite a few wrinkles in the forecasting leading to uncertainties past 5 days out. But if you're in the Atlantic Canada or even New England, I would keep an eye on Lee's forecast trends. The few things I want you to go ahead and do, please go ahead and start executing your hurricane plans. Go ahead and buy you water and non-perishable food items. Make sure you have life jackets and stuff like that to help you stay afloat. Once again, flooding is going to be a major issue with Hurricane Lee. Now, if evacuation orders are issued, please follow them and do not act irrationally, as in your safety is at risk and so are others. Now, if you do decide to ride out the flooding, make sure you help the first responders find you. It is your job to help them help you. Alright, now let's bring everything back inland to the US. This heat wave will be moving soon out of the southeast. We'll still have temperatures in the mid-80s during the day, but we'll be dropping down to the mid-60s during the nighttime. There still will be a little bit of a heat wave out in western Texas and New Mexico, staying around the mid-90s during the day, getting down to the low 80s during the nighttime. Now for later in the week, I'm watching a possible ridge set up in the northern plains that may bring a little bit of heat wave to Iowa, Michigan, Illinois, places up there. So we'll have more on that later on as that time gets a little bit closer. But overall, the severe weather patterns are staying relatively quiet. We have a few marginal risks. They may uptick to slight, not too sure yet, but overall it's going to stay mainly pretty quiet. For the next few days, scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected out west, which is going to bring some relief to the locals there. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Recently, we just got monetized, so make sure you click that join button if you feel obligated or you want to help us in any way, shape, or form. It will help us upgrade our equipment and help fund chases. But make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time, and stay weather aware, my friends.